So the Wednesday, September 8, 2021 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. There is... Do you have my cheat sheet about my opening?
Uh-oh.
Because I don't have it memorized. It's not in my package.
Yes, it is. Hiding, apparently.
I mean, if you want the street version, I can give you that, but...
I don't have it printed, but I have it here.
Is there a way to get it put up on my screen?
Don't believe so.
Can you walk over?
I can walk over, yeah. Thank you. We'll just do it this way. Okay, the September 8th
Yes.
meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement is now called to order. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rule of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have the opportunity to cross-examine any and all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given the opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium. After giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I will ask all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to please stand and be sworn in by the clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you are about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Next, we will cover our ex parte communications.
I was just making sure you have it right.
Okay, thank you. If any board members have had any ex parte communication with anyone regarding any matters that are coming forward the board this evening, if you've had verbal ex parte communications, please disclose the where, when, and with whom those communications occurred, as well as the sum and substance of those communications. If you received written ex parte communications, please disclose the form of the written communications, who sent you the communications, and the sum and substance of those communications. We'll start down with you, Rod.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none. I've had none.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll approve the minutes. Have everybody received a copy of the minutes for August 11, 2011? Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Seeing none, I will accept a motion to approve the minutes.
Move to approve. Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved unanimously. Are we going in order tonight, or
We are taking one out of order,
Okay.
which is Ms. Brown.
which case is that?
21-2965.
2965. That'll be our first case. Okay, so we'll be going slightly out of order tonight, gentlemen. Case number 21-2965, City versus Joan M. Brown will be our first case, and then we'll go back to the beginning, which would be 210448. With that, we will begin.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. Just to recap, this case was presented last month during the August MCEB. It was regarding a fence not being installed, not facing the smooth side out. You were granted Ms. Jones an extension because she was in the process of exploring a possible variance for the fence. She is here tonight. That is it. If she asks for continuance, code enforcement has no issue granting a continuance.
Okay, so, any questions for the code officer? Any respondent is here?
Yes.
If you'd like to say something, come on up. State your name and address for the record, please.
Joan Brown, 8204 Collier Place. And yes, I was here last month, and I believe you all tabled it for me to explore, after presenting the situation, to explore possibly getting an adjustment with the variance board, which the gentleman here had given me the person to contact. And I did talk to her, and I decided, after getting more information on it, I decided not to pursue that because it was actually a $500 fee just for them to review it. It's no guarantee whether they would even approve it. So that was a little too much for me, not having any guarantee of the outcome. So I did not pursue the adjustment, going through the adjustment or the variance board. I did not pursue that. So I'm back here tonight. So I guess I'm just before you, as the code enforcement board is still.
And the situation with the fence has not changed, is that correct?
No, I just, last month I did submit the letters from all the neighbors who were fine with it, so I guess I'm just back before you now to see what the final decision is gonna be on
Okay,
that.
and, we heard the sum and substance of the case last time, correct? So we're here just for a finding, correct? Is that right, Ernie?
Yes, but my question would be is I don't know if everybody here, I don't believe you were here. It may behoove to have
That's fine.
Officer Silva.
Okay.
just read
Mr. Silva, if you wouldn't mind, you can have a seat, ma'am. If you wouldn't mind just quickly going back through the facts of the case?
This case originated on June 14, 2021. My inspection noted a new wood privacy fence installed without a permit and the smooth side not facing out as required by city code. Left a door hanger with a compliance date, June 24, 2021. On June 18, 2021, I received an email from Community Development. The permit was paid and issued for the fence, but the fence was still not facing smooth side out. My inspection on July 16, 2021 noted no change, so notice violation was completed with a compliance date of July 30, 2021. Posted notice at the home is at the front door as well as City Hall. Mail copies both certified and regular mail to the registered owner of the address. During my inspection on July 30, 2021, I noted the fence still without the smooth side facing out.
Thank you. And for those that weren't here, the issue at hand, the violation is that the fence, the code requires that the smooth side be faced out, okay, not the other way around. The respondent did submit letters from neighbors saying they didn't mind. At that time, we gave her the opportunity to table the issue to see if getting a variance to the code, to the requirement, would be a viable alternative for her. As she stated at the beginning of this session, she has decided not to go that route, and it is now before you for your decision. Anything to add, Ernie?
No, but we have photographs and we have those letters in the record if you would like to look at them.
Yeah, I would like to look at the photographs, actually, if you have them.
You have those.
Is there a way to bring those up on the screen?
No.
No, okay. Any questions for the respondent?
Who installed the fence?
It was a friend of mine.
It's a wood fence or plastic fence?
Pardon me?
What kind of fence is it?
It's wooden.
Wooden, okay.
This, if I remember right, this was a situation where he did the work, but then you didn't know that he had to have a permit, then you got a permit.
Well, I got the
You
permit.
got the permit, yeah.
Yeah, I came up here almost immediately and got the permit, but then I was waiting for the hearing to find out about the turning of the fence.
Yeah, so the permit's not the issue, it's the as-built condition of the fence.
I have one question, Bev. I've seen it. What's our limitation first? I don't know, it's the question to us or to Ernie. We can decide if we can agree, let it go, but that's, it's a violation.
Your role as a member of this code board is determine whether or not a violation has occurred,
Period.
period.
And the other issue, I mean, if the neighbors agree, is that gonna be influencing our decision, or should we consider it?
The letters, everything that was submitted as evidence is to be considered.
I would say that the letters, can go toward the weight, would be my suggestion, but if it was actually for a determination of whether or not to allow the fence, that's really a job for the Board of Adjustment. That would have been their position. Here, you got a fence that's backwards, that the code says that the smooth side has to be out, you have the smooth side in.
I'm thinking about even if the neighbors agree, maybe some of the neighbors will move and somebody new will come in.
Precisely. See, that's why that's the type of evidence, and that's the decision of the Board of Adjustment. These are the letters.
Oh, okay, great, thank you.
And I have the photo as well. Do we need the photo?
I think he looked at them, but he's more than welcome to.
Oh,
There it
you
is
go.
on the
Perfect,
screen as
look at that.
Ah, there you go.
Thank you, Ernie.
So in the picture that you're seeing, the picture you see on your screen, it's the higher fence that's in behind the lower fence.
The one in the back.
It's the privacy fence that's the subject of discussion this evening.
So the violation has been for 30 days now, or longer?
Well, it's been longer. Yeah, it's been longer. If, the fence has been installed for longer than 30 days, sure.
Yeah, but we gave the okay to
Yeah,
extend it.
yeah, but we tabled it for a month for her to pursue getting a variance to the code. She has chosen not to do that.
David, can I ask Ms. Brown a question?
Sure.
Are you seeking another month from us to table it till next month, and you're planning on getting it changed, or?
Well, whatever the final decision is of the board this evening, then I'll comply. If it's that I need to turn the fence, then I'll do that. It was my understanding that at the point of when that final decision is made, then I have 30 days. So I guess.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right.
So I guess whatever you decide tonight,
If a determination is made that a violation has occurred and that that a fine will accrue, that's the determination, you will have 30 days to remedy that before the fine begins to accrue.
correct, I understand that.
Okay.
So,
Oh, the officer said that he was fine to extend it, and, that's where I was leading, but,
well, I
yeah,
mean, I just.
guess either way, it's the same.
Get it settled. I don't know when you say extend it, you mean beyond 30 more days? I mean, if you
Yeah.
decide tonight, I believe I can comply within 30 days.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say, like, could your friend who installed it, could he actually reasonably come back in the next 30 days and do it?
Within 30 days?
Yeah.
I believe so.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
In case number 12-861, subsection E, subsection 3, move the city as proven by a greater weight of the...
Whoa, hang on. I think, what case number did you just?
Violation. Case number is 21,
Oh, I'm sorry.
2966.
Just go ahead and start over.
She has one other question. Oh, I was reading it from the TV.
No, you can't, because we closed the comment section, but
In case number 21-2965, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code existed at the property located at 8204 Collier Place, violation 12-861 subsection E subsection 3. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before October 13th. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator. I move the fine be $50 per day.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Bill?
$50, why are we doing 50? I'm just curious. $50, you said $50?
Yeah.
50, okay. I mean, My feeling is that I don't think the amount of fine really matters in this.
Right, yeah, I'm fine to do
I
25. if
just
that's-
like the consistency of, we kinda got this thing where we do $25 per
Okay,
violation.
I'll amend my motion to,
No, if you have did you have a specific?
I'm happy to amend it to 25. Thank you, yeah, you're right, it is consistent. I'll amend my motion to be $25 a day, instead of 50, starting on October 13th.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So as it stands right now, the fence has been found to be in violation of the city code. You have 30 days to remedy the situation. If not, a fine of $25 a day will occur on basically the 31st day. Okay, now if by chance something comes up, rain, storm, hurricane, somebody gets COVID or whatever, you can come back to our next hearing on the 13th and request an extension. No guarantees, but certainly you can plead your case. Okay? Thank you. And you're welcome to stay, but you can also leave if you like. Okay? Okay, I saw somebody walk in.
Mr. Ziegler's here.
Which case is that?
That is 3797.
3797. Did we want to, since he's here, want to take care of that? Has he been sworn?
He will need to be sworn in.
Okay, let's get him sworn in. We'll get him heard.
Go ahead and stand, and then raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, so it's case number 21-3797, gentlemen.
Yes.
No, have a seat. We'll call you.
So case number.
Appreciate your enthusiasm.
Case number 213797, City versus John P. Ziegler for the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 828A1 permits application required. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated proactively on June 21st, 2021. This time I noticed construction debris in the driveway of the residence. I took photographs and emailed them to Community Development for review. On July 16th, 2021, I generated a notice violation from a stop work order list from Community Development requesting a notice violation to be generated. I completed notice of violation with a compliance date of July 30, 2021. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. On August 20, 2021, I verified with Community Development that permits for the interior and electrical were not obtained. At this time, I'd like to submit copies of the stop work order and 4 photographs. The notice posted at the front door and the construction debris in the driveway.
Accept those, thank you.
That's not it. That's not it. That's Brunstein.
Wrong case. Somebody want to,
797?
Yes, 3797.
say somebody want to tell the guy in the booth, but it's Tom right there.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
There you go.
That's it.
It was a test. You passed.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Sorry about that.
He knows his debris. Okay, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead.
The debris is mostly, it looks like ceiling, some wood.
I sent it to Community Development. They made a determination. I know there was construction going there, that there was a pile of debris there, wood, tile, et cetera.
Go ahead, Bill.
Was the stop work order complied with? Was that?
Yes.
How did this case come into the attention of the city?
Excuse me, sir?
How did the case come into the attention of the city, driving around, saw the debris?
Driving around, saw the debris in the driveway, took photographs, I sent it to community development. Then they generated a stop work order list from it saying generated a notice of violation.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the code officer? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
The respondent is here. You may, if you want to speak, you may. State your name and address for the record first, please. Yep, yeah, come to the podium.
John Ziegler, 306 South Burlingame Avenue.
Floor is yours, sir.
I'm the owner, the resident. Just recently bought the house a couple months ago, or a few months ago. When I received that stop order, I did that same day. I came to the city, they were downstairs here, talked to the staff downstairs. They recommended I give the building inspector a call. I called her, talked to her on the phone, and I told her like, hey, tried to understand what was going on, and I said, okay, got it. So I stopped anything that would be a safety risk or hazard or anything like that potential. And I said, well, I also, you see that tile that I broke up already on the floor, ripped up some carpet because I installed the linoleum flooring, did some just minor sheetrock stuff, and then painted and stuff like that. So I stopped all the things that she asked me to stop. I told her at the time, like, hey, I'm a single dad. I work at Moffett, and it's going to take me a long time to get this stuff done because I'm doing a lot of stuff on my own. So the debris was from that initial just demolition stuff, and it took me a while to get it out because when I tried to get a dumpster, they said no, I can't get a dumpster because I had to go through the city. So I just couldn't get it out fast enough out of the driveway. So it sat in the driveway a little longer than it should have. Then received another stop work order or like another notice, and I came back in. I spoke to the lady downstairs and kind of told her like, hey, it's just taking me a long time to get stuff done because I'm trying to do as much as I can legally, myself. So I spoke to her, tried to figure out what more, I could do under, being a homeowner versus, getting somebody else like a licensed contractor. And I told her like, hey, just please give me some time on getting the permit. I had all the paperwork to get a homestead homeowner's building permit. However, she said she wanted detailed blueprints. I got with, I think it was Barrel Engineering. They were kind of 3 weeks out, then they canceled me at the last minute. Then they wanted to do it again. It's going to cost like $1,500, and I just don't have that to get that blueprint. And I still have the wall open that she was concerned about, the load-bearing beam. I haven't closed that. I haven't touched it. I have pictures to show that, so I just asked for more time until I kind of can get things.
Just to sum it up, you don't currently have a building permit, and the reason for that is that you need to get drawings to the city, and you thought you had somebody who was going to do the drawings, and they canceled on you last minute, and you're in the process of trying to find someone else.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought you said that there was an expense involved too, as far as getting the drawings. It was something you didn't.
Yeah, it's I think it was like they wanted initially like like $750 to come out, and they have to first do like a survey and then kind of like of the area, and then after that, if they want blueprints with a structural engineer, because the one issue that that the building inspector brought up, which I put a load-bearing beam up. It actually was there before, and I just extended it another 4 feet. My dad's a building inspector, had his own construction company, so I asked him, like, hey, instead of this, can I just put this? And he said, yeah, that's okay, which I should have. I know that. Now, speaking to the lady downstairs, that was wrong, so. So, again, I didn't close the wall up or anything like that, because I know we'll get it done the right way.
But just so you understand, the violation that you're here for today is not having the building permit.
Right.
The only way to cure that violation is to get a building permit, okay? All that construction and stuff, that's a symptom of the violation, but the violation is not having not having a permit. And the only remedy to cure that violation is to get a permit.
Yes, sir.
And so it would be helpful to this board to understand what your plans are to get a permit.
I will have a, by the end of the month, I'll have I'll get the blueprints and the engineering company to come out and do their job, or not their job, but their part of what I need to submit. All the other paperwork's already done in the folder. So I'm just waiting for that.
So that won't give you a permit. That'll get it into permitting for review.
That's correct.
And then they would have to take whatever time they take, and I don't know what the current turnaround is.
I'm not sure.
And I think it depends. So if you were to be found in violation tonight, you would end up in a position of incurring a fine, because by your own admission, it's gonna take you 30 days plus to get the drawings and such done. So,
And I'm estimating 30, because that's what they gave me 3 weeks of the first time I scheduled it, so that's why I'm estimating at 30 days.
that's just so you know where we stand.
Yep, I understand.
Any other questions for the respondent? Seeing none? Yes, Ernie?
Can I just comment, for
Sure.
Mr. Ziegler's benefit? If I understand, because we said a permit, just so you know, I think there's a need for 2 permits, the rental permit and the electrical permit. Just want you to know.
Okay, so there's 2. There's a general building permit and an electrical permit?
I think 3.
Interior renovation and electrical? Okay.
And you plan to make the necessary steps in the next 30 days to work towards getting the permits, getting the blueprints and all that, for
Yes.
both? Okay.
Getting them in.
Yeah, right. I don't think he's gonna get a permit in 30 days, so I think it's a good case to give him another 30 days and table it. That's just my opinion, but, you know.
Well, you can always come back and let us know. What
Yeah, either way.
Yeah, so, if there's no further questions, you may have a seat.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do it. Microphone's on here, yep. Okay, so in case number 21-3797, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Jose Silva, and John Ziegler, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before October 13th. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries unanimously. So where it stands right now, sir, is you have been found to be in violation of not having the permits necessary to do the work. You have until October 13th to get such permit. Obviously, it's probably not going to happen. So you're going to need to come back in front of us on the 13th and let us know where you stand. At that time, the board will consider a request for another continuance. And obviously, there's no guarantees in life, but that certainly will be taken into consideration if you have it into the permit department for review. That's certainly a plus.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next case?
Case number 210448, City versus Victory Oil Investment Property located at 5317 East Fletcher Avenue. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 81661B Minimum Standards, Commercial Exterior Walls. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence of the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on January 27th, 2021. My inspection revealed the blue trim around the gas pump exterior wall very faded. At that time, I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of April the 23rd, 2021. My inspection on April the 30th, 2021 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of June the 1st, 2021. Affidavit of service was obtained on the store manager, Youssef Malki. My inspection on July the 26th, 2021 revealed no change, and at this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on the 17th of May, 2021, showing the violations.
We'll accept those.
Thank you. Exhibit number 1 shows faded chip paint facing the south side around the gas pump area. Exhibit number 2 shows the faded blue trim facing the north side at the gas pump area.
Any questions for the code officer?
It's in the ceiling, right? In the,
Yeah,
That is correct.
blue trims around the pumps.
Mr. Chairman, as of today's date, the site is now in compliance, and at this time, I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I'm just looking for a finding, sir.
Good, thank you, we'll accept that. Any other questions for the code officer? Respondent does not appear to be here, so I will entertain a motion.
I will try.
Go ahead.
In case number 21-0448, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 5317 East Fletcher Avenue. The applicable codes are 8-166, subsection 1, subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there will be no fine imposed because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 210961, City versus Michaela Nealer for the property located at 8660 Navajo Avenue. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8, 102.13b, exterior walls maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and the notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on February 22nd for a damaged stucco on the gable end of the residence. That time, I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of March 22nd, 2021. The resident contacted me stating they were in the process of having the work done and the issue would be resolved. A few weeks later, I did observe a new roof being installed and the house being painted, so I extended the reinspection date. And on April 20th, 2021, I observed the gable end had not been repaired, so I prepared a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of May 15th. I posted the notice at the site, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. The resident did contact me saying there was an issue in getting a contractor and supplies and requested an extension, which I again granted. My reinspection on August 24th showed no change, so a notice of hearing was prepared and the case was scheduled for the September Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on April 20th and August 23rd, 2021.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting. Exhibit number 2 shows the hole in the stucco on the gable end. At this time, the site is in compliance, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
We'll accept that. Thank you. Questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'll do it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, everybody wants some of this action.
Do it, Bill.
That's better than nobody wants.
All right, and case number 21-0961, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of evidence that the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 8660 Navajo Avenue. Code section 8-102-13-B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, I think, yeah.
Yes.
Along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that no fine be imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next case, please.
Case number 21-1230, City versus Robert L. Perry and Dorothy L. Perry for the property located at 6312 Jacqueline Arbor Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12861E6 fences appearance. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and the notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on March 31st, 2021. My inspection revealed the east side and rear wood fence in disrepair. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of June 8th, 2021. My inspection on the 16th of June 2021 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of June the 30th, 2021. No one was at home, so I posted the notice at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. My inspection on August the 23rd, 2021 revealed no change. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on the 27th of April, 2021 showing the violations.
Accept those, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the east side fence in disrepair. Exhibit number 3 shows the rear wood fence in disrepair. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Perry contacted me on June the 16th, 2021, who advised me that he had contacted several fence companies, but the contractors were having difficulty in locating the materials due to COVID. Since that conversation, I have not had any new updates pertaining to the violation. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
And you've had no conversation with him since the 16th of June?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. Any further questions for the code officer?
Have any of the neighbors said anything about it?
None of the neighbors have said anything. We haven't received any calls about the fence that I'm aware of, and discussing with our, Tina, the admin assistant, that I don't think so.
And there is a pool enclosure, so there's no other violation because because there is a pool enclosure.
Right.
And he had the opportunity to be coming here and tell us.
Yes, sir. I was hoping that Mr. Perry would be here tonight to be able to give us an update, all of us an update. That he has maybe, secured a company to come in and put the fence up. I know the gentleman has a dog, and he wants to do the fence. So again, I'm really not sure. My last conversation with him was on the 16th.
I'm wishing that he was here.
We all would. Okay. Got it. Any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll try them.
Thank you.
In case number 21-1230, I move that city has proven that by the greater weight of evidence, the following violation of the city of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 6312 Jacqueline Arbor Drive. Applicable codes are in violation 12-861 subsection E, subsection 6. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before the October 13th, 2021. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day of the order, to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for this compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion passes. Next case, please.
Case number 213533, City versus Race 1 LLC, trustee for the property located at 8701 Overlook Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 103A, sanitation, grass, weeds. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on July 1st, 2021. My inspection at the time noted the grass of the vacant lot to be overgrown. This time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of July 15th, 2021. Posted the notice at the vacant lot as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. On August 12th, I inspected the property and noted the grass still to be overgrown. This time I would like to submit photographic evidence.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting at the property, and exhibit number 2 shows the overgrown grass on August 12, 2021. As of today's date, the property is in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
We'll accept that. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion. Thank you.
In case number 21-3533, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of evidence that the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 8701 Overlook Drive. Applicable code 10-3 subsection A. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from code enforcement officer along with any other witnesses or any other evidence including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 213728, City versus Craig Brunstein for the property located at 418 Ferncliff Avenue. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 828A1, permits application required. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated proactively on July 12, 2021. My inspection noted construction occurring at the residence without a permit. The following day, July 13, 2021, I posted a stop work order at the residence. An inspection on August 9, 2021 revealed no permits were pulled. At this time, I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of August 23, 2021. I posted the notice at the home as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. As of this date, no permits have been applied or pulled for interior remodel, mechanical to include electrical and plumbing. This time I'd like to submit the stop work orders and photographic evidence.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 is the notice posted at the residence. 2 to 3 is the construction debris that was in the side yard in front.
Okay, has there been any changes at all at the property? Is the debris still there?
This morning, there was still no permits applied for.
But are the debris?
That's cleared up, that's gone.
That's all the debris are gone.
Yes.
And is there any evidence of further construction?
No, sir.
Any other questions for the code officer?
Just curious if you had any communications with the owner?
No, sir.
Seeing no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Case number 21-3728, I move the city has proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code existed at the property located at 418 Ferncliff Avenue. Code violations are 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, photos, affidavits, notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before October 13th. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion passes. Next case, please.
Case number 213734, City versus 2017-2 IH Bar LP for the property located at 9831 Terrace Trail Lane. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8102-13C. Roofs maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on July 13th for a roof and disrepair. I left the door hanger with a reinspection date of July 21st, 2021. My reinspection on July 21st showed no change, so a notice of violation was prepared on that date with a compliance date of August 16th, 2021. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on August 23rd showed no change, so a notice of hearing was prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the September Municipal Code Board meeting. I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on July 21st and August 23rd, 2021.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
I don't have that case with me. In my packet.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation, and exhibit number 2 shows the tarped roof. At this point in time, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling. Installation of a new roof has started a couple of days ago, but they have not completed it.
Okay. And I assume the tarp was the giveaway.
Do they have a permit for that?
Yeah, so they have a permit.
They already obtained the permit.
Right.
They have a permit. They've started work. They just haven't finished.
Did they possibly give you any idea, have you spoken to the,
It's a corporate rental property, so, I mean, I haven't heard from the property manager or anybody contacted. Actually,
just
nobody's
curious if you had
contacted.
any,
No, the tenant contacted me wanting to hope we would get the roof done for
yeah,
him.
he's probably,
I would, it's in the roofer's best interest to get in and get out, so,
Right.
yeah.
they've started it. How long ago did they start it?
It started earlier this week, so probably Tuesday.
It'll probably be done by Tuesday next week.
Okay, that's why I was just curious if this was a candidate for for more than
I
30
hope
days.
not. The last 2 days I've gone by, I haven't seen any change, and nobody was on site, but it is about 3/4 of the way completed, so. I'm
Okay,
hoping that
cool.
they'll complete it rapidly.
Well, let's see if there's any questions first.
Sam wants
Appreciate the enthusiasm.
Sam,
That's okay.
Did you have a question?
No, no, I did
Okay.
not.
Seeing no further questions, I will entertain a motion.
in case number 21-3734, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the city Temple Terrace city code exist on the property located at 9831 Temple Terrace Trail Lane. The applicable codes are 8-102 subsection 13 subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before the October 13th meeting. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for the compliance upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator. I move that the fine be $25 per day.
Okay, just a point of order before I ask for a second. I believe I heard you say 9831 Temple Terrace Trail Lane. The official address is 9831 Terrace Trail Lane.
Oh, yeah, Terrace.
With that, I will entertain a second.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion passes. Next case, please.
Case number 214068, City versus Stephen J. Vagianos for the property located at 429 Biltmore Avenue. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of section 12859, subsection 2, RVs, boats, and trailers. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and the notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on July 28, 2021. My inspection at the time noted a boat parked in the driveway of the residence, unscreened from view. This time I opened the case. My inspection on August 3rd, 2021 noted no change, so a notice of violation was completed with a compliance date of August 6, 2021. Posted notice at the front door as well as City Hall. Mail copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. My inspection on August 13th noted the boat still parked in the driveway of the residence. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the notice posted at the front door and the boat in the driveway.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 2 is the boat parked in the driveway. At this time, the boat has been moved. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Thank you, we'll accept that.
Seeking a finding.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Go, David.
Thank you.
Case number 21-4068, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 429 Biltmore Avenue. Violation 12-859 subsection 2. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, photos, affidavits, notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. Further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion passes. Next case, please.
Case number 215193, City versus Radiant Oil Company of Tampa for property located at 5601 East Fowler Avenue. That case has been pulled from the agenda.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of our new cases. On to unfinished business.
Yes. Case number 25670, City versus Abdul Hossein Sharbiani for the property located at 332 Sunnyside Road. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for sections 810213B and 810214A-B dated August 12th, 2021. Case number 210070, City versus A&T Hospitality Tampa LLC for the property located at 13294 Telecom Drive. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Officer Smith for section 81664A dated August 12th, 2021. Case number 210685, City versus Nihad Darwish for the property located at 6319 East 113th Avenue. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for section 810213B dated August 12th, 2021. Case number 210786, City versus James L. Evans and Joyce A.G. Evans for the property located at 11305 East Queensway Drive. Deadline for compliance is tonight. Case number 21.
Hang on a second.
Yes.
You have something to say about this case?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
Please.
Hold on. On a roll.
Sorry that Mr. Evans is in attendance, but I wanted to give the board an update. The permit for Mr. Evans was issued on July the 27th, 2021. That permit would expire on 1/23 of 2022. The permit was for the repair roof and deck that was caused by the detached chimney.
Okay.
So he has pulled the permit, and he has until January 23rd, sir, of 22 to complete the work. Again, I'm sorry that he isn't here this evening. It's probably an oversight on his part, as he was supposed to have been back in attendance, and you're giving him the 2 months. But he is definitely, he's definitely got the permit, sir.
Okay, good. He's been pretty diligent about it, so.
Yes, sir.
Is this the gentleman with the big white beard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chimney.
With the chimney, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's no further action required by us, correct, Ernie?
No, I don't know if there was something that, Officer Smith wanted to add. I don't know if you're looking to
No.
extend it or not. Okay.
I would like, yes, I mean, this is expiring September,
Tonight.
yes, it's
Nice.
expiring tonight.
Okay, so there is some
Someone
action.
definitely is working.
If the board chooses, we would extend it. Do we know how much, have you talked to him?
No, sir, I have not. Have not talked to Mr. Evans. I just found out this information when I contacted Community
Okay,
Development.
so he has a permit. Do you have a inkling of the scope of work that's necessary to get in, that's under the permit? I mean, I guess the question I'm asking is, if we give him another month, is that gonna be enough?
I do not believe so, sir. I do not. Again, I'm not a building inspector, but it's pretty extensive.
Does the city have a problem with giving him another 2 months?
I have no problem with that.
Okay. Okay, so the city is inclined to give the respondent another 2 months. It sounds like he'll need it. Certainly, it's the purview of this board to either yay or nay on that, but we will need a motion to either give him, to give him an extension. No motion is required if you guys don't want to give him an extension. But if you want to give him an extension, then we will need a motion.
All right, I'll do it.
Thank you.
I move in case number 21-0786, code section violations 8-102-13, subsection 13, subsection B, and 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C. I recommend that the board give the violator 60 days to come into compliance, and that would be what date?
November 10th.
Oh, here, November 10th.
Okay, just a point of order, there's actually 3 violations. The one you missed was 8-102-13A. So with that, I will entertain a second.
I second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Motion carries, so if you speak with him, tell him he's got 60 days. And remind him, though, that, in 60 days, if he's not finished, to certainly make sure he comes back to let us know, at least let you know
Yes, sir.
where he stands on the construction. Thank you, Lori. And thank you for being diligent with it. Okay, on we go.
Case number 210928, City versus Edgar D. Ziegler and Perla V. Ziegler for the property located at 9228 Overlook Drive. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for Section 8, 10213B and 1034 dated August 12th. And then an affidavit of compliance for the remaining Section 8, 10213C was submitted on August 27th, 2021. So that is full compliance now.
Perfect.
Case number 211177, City versus Nicholas Druid Tealing and Reichel Tealing for the property located at 716 Druid Hills Road. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Director Brony for Section 828A1 dated August 12th, 2021. Case number 212014, City versus Reichel Construction LLC for the property located at 823 East River Drive. Deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. And then case number 212844, City versus Maximum Home Holdings LLC for 5404 River Hills Drive. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for Section 12900, subsection 5, dated September 7th, 2021. And for a case not on the agenda, we have case number 216161, City versus Timothy Thibodeau, for the property located at 113 Glen Ridge Avenue. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for section 103B dated August 25th, 2021.
Very good, thank you. Is there any other board action carryover from our last meeting? We have no lien reduction petitions. I do have a couple of items under new business. Our esteemed council member and liaison has something to inform this board of.
Good evening, Chairman and Board. James Chambers, Temple Terrace City Council Member, Temple Terrace, Florida. At last night's council meeting, it was an item was brought up concerning this board. The City Council has instructed our staff, that's our legal staff and the city manager, to look at the ordinance pertaining to lien reductions. And what the intent is to have the city's legal staff and city manager negotiate the lien reductions. And there's a couple of reasons for that. And again, we're just asking staff to explore it. And it's got to come back before City Council as an ordinance, and there'll be 2 readings of that ordinance, so there'll be time for citizens and people to comment. But the main idea on it is a couple, but one is to streamline the process. As you know, now people come before this board to seek a lien reduction. And then that can take up to a month or more. And then once it's approved here by this board, it's got to go to City Council, and depending on the way it's scheduled, it could be another month. So it's a couple months. Doesn't matter much in the case of someone seeking a lien reduction that continues to own the property, but someone that is trying to buy a piece of property and has this lien reduction in front of them, they would like to know quicker. So the idea would be that the legal staff and the city manager negotiate that price so people would know that in advance. The second part of that is there are also extra liens on properties like water, sewer, some other liens the city has that this board has no control over. And that's negotiated by the legal staff and the city manager now, so it just would seem to make sense to have all those negotiations take place at one time. And I'm telling you this because last night was the first time I heard of it, but the council seemed to indicate that they did indicate they wanted staff to work on this issue. So that is basically in a nutshell what happened.
Perfect, thank you.
So, just a question. So, when the negotiations are complete, would that still come in front of the council?
No, it was made somewhat clear. Now, I don't know how the end of the ordinance is going to be written, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense to go to negotiation then back to council. That's the same number of steps it does now. So it was kind of indicated that it would be at the level of the legal department and the city manager and his staff.
And as he stated, the intent is to streamline it, expedite the system, and there has been cases that came in front of us that has impacted closings of sales because of the liens. We had one case where a gentleman, you guys remember, came from Canada and then found out he's got to stay because he's got to wait another month to find out that the city council has to ratify the thing. So we're trying, the idea is to make it more efficient, streamline it, bring it in line with what other jurisdictions in the area are doing, and also give purchasers a way to streamline that process as well. It has nothing to do with anything you guys have done or didn't do.
Not at all. No.
It's just a way to expedite and streamline the process.
And I like about it the other issues that water, sewer, whatever.
Yeah, it all gets bundled, yeah.
All gonna be all together and handled legally. That was.
So that's the plan, as council member said, the devil's always in the details, and nobody's seen the details yet. I don't think the details have been actually put pen to paper yet, and there'll be an ordinance. I don't know, was it next meeting that they were gonna have the draft ordinance?
I know the legal staff is behind me, so they maybe could answer that question.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes, both. They might could answer that. I can't see them having it for our next meeting, but they may have something.
Next month, hopefully.
Yeah.
So second meeting in October, probably. Yeah.
And also my understanding, and again, last night was the first I've heard of it, and I haven't researched it. It's my understanding that a lot of our surrounding jurisdictions do it this way, so.
That's my understanding as well. Ernie?
I have an additional item. A few months back, you directed the legal department to begin foreclosure on a property that was I can't remember the address, 104, whatever, it was the Berry property. I want to let you know that we did file a foreclosure on that, and then we did get a settlement, and we received about $23,000.
Oh, great, awesome, very good. Okay. I have one other thing, I just want to commend you, Tom. It's the first time that, we see the trucks driving around, but seeing them in the pictures tonight, I really want to commend you and your staff for taking really good care of those trucks. I mean, they're clean, and they look like they're, staying away from dents and rocks and things, and I certainly, I'm sure we appreciate that, because ultimately,
It's nice to drive a pickup truck.
yeah,
Because for years, we drove sedans.
yeah,
So when you're dealing with stop signs and
yeah.
it's just nice to able to throw it in the back of the bus.
But you're taking good care of them. Thank you.
Are they new trucks?
2 of them are.
2 of them are, yeah,
We're getting another one in October.
yeah. And it's, we have always had a 4 or 5 year rotation.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes because of budget constraints, we have not followed that. And, that it's not just a matter of, okay, we want to get them a new truck. It's just, how many miles a year do you guys put on those trucks?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, but this vehicle we're getting rid of in October is Joe Gross's vehicle.
Oh, yeah,
So
yes, yeah,
he
he,
had this vehicle in 2007.
yeah,
So it's got 90,000 miles on it. It's time for it to retire.
yeah, so it's,
So-
there's a method to the madness in the years. And there's been some research done on the number of miles these guys put on them, and it's not just a matter of making sure that Jose Silva gets a new truck every 3 or 4 years. Yeah. I think somebody else had a comment.
Yeah, just a question, maybe for the city attorney. Does the public have the opportunity for public comments in this meeting?
No, this is not legislative. This is a quasi judicial
Gotcha.
hearing, so no, there's really no place for.
Well, I guess let me ask you this way. Sometimes I get, a lot of calls, like I'm sure a lot of people get calls saying, well, I got so and so, or I have this problem. And most of the issues, I just tell them, hey, talk to Tom, and that takes care of the issue. But there are some general issues where I think, the entire board need to hear it, and I guess I can tell them to send an email to everyone, because I don't want them to send an email and, sunshine and all that.
The best way to handle
Sure.
that, if you have people coming to you with just general issues about code, they can either go to Tom, that's probably the first thing.
Sure.
They can certainly go to one of our legal staff, depending on what the issue is, but the public should not be reaching out to individual code members. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm
we're not the, they're the cops, we're the judges, okay? So if there's a problem, it needs to go to Tom.
If they were looking to change the code, or
Correct.
they need to come to a city council.
Yes.
That's what I've been telling them, but then I was like, okay, well, maybe it makes more sense if they can speak here. But yeah, I've been telling them to.
There's always.
You or council.
Well, in every council meeting, there's a set aside for items not on the agenda. That's their opportunity to bring up whatever subject they want to bring up, for whatever reason they want to bring it up. And that's the starting point. We don't set policy.
That's true.
We don't determine what cases we hear or don't hear. We're just a quasi judicial board to hear evidence and make a ruling. So if they want to change something that would be a change in the ordinance or change the rules and regulation, it needs to go to Tom and it needs to go to council. And quite frankly, you really don't want to get involved in any of that. So, anything else? With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
7 o'clock.